about how to grab colors from sites if we don't have the site have the colors provided from the customer. So I'm not going to beat that horse into the ground. I'm just going to ask you to go over and review that section that we talked about as far as the colors of the dashboards. I mean, of the color schemes that the companies may use. So we see here that they've got a reddish type color they're using, but this is actually a fortune color. So once we get over to the annual report, we'll look more closely at what their color scheme is, because this color scheme is actually coming from the fortune report. As we see here, we can see that this trading is actually changing colors as we speak, as we are here on the site, from 44 to 45 to 46, up 4.44%. So this is actually live data. This is live data as of December 2024, and it is moving and it is shaking as we speak. Now, another thing that I want to emphasize is this is not a session to where we are giving you information or stock information to go out and buy stock. This is not a stock trading class. So again, please understand that this is not a class on giving trading information. We're giving trading advice. We are not giving trading advice. We are not telling you to go and buy this particular stock. We are not telling you not to go and buy this particular stock. Of course, we know that with stocks you can lose money and you can make money, and that's not what we're here to do. We're simply here to show you how you can analyze the data using live data. So with that said, we are going to continue to move on. Before we move over to the annual report, we're just going to scroll down on this particular document here on the website, and we're going to see if there's any other documentation that we would like to use as potential key performance indicators. So as we see here, we're looking at basic company information, updates, country is U.S. headquarters, looks like Woonsocket, Rhode Island, industry, healthcare, ticker is CVS, company is public, revenue is 357 million, profits is 8 million, let's see, no, profits is 8 billion. And it's 357 billion because that M is for million. My apologies. But that's 357 billion. Looks like 8 billion in profits, and the market value is about 73 billion. Number of employees 259,000. The number of employees jumps out here at me. This other information we're going to be able to see a little later on as we look at the annual report, we're going to talk about where you can potentially grab that information from. But when I look at the number of employees, and it says 259,500, that number jumps out at me because that's information they've got on their company information, so that must be important information for them as well. And basically where I'm going with that is when you move into the database, and I guess where I'm going, once you get into the database, we want to find out where the employee count is, right? We want to look at the table of employee count because that's important. 259,000 employees. Where are those employees? We have the count, but where are those employees? How many of those employees are in the United States? How many are in other countries? How many are in different states here in the United States? How many are in different cities here in the United States? How many are in different zip codes? That's information that they could utilize or having quick access to. They can utilize relatively quickly. What else can we find out about those employees? How many of those employees? If that employee database. Typically, the employee database is going to tell you the name of the employee, when that employee started working, when that employee was terminated, if that employee, or what the termination date was, not necessarily that the employee was terminated, but when was that termination date, whether that employee left on their own or if that person left unwillingly. But You're typically going to get the name of the employee, the date that they started, the date that it was the date that the employee terminated, the age of that employee, um, the birth date of that employee. Now that's going to be some sensitive data when you start looking at the birth date and the social security number and that kind of stuff. And typically the social security number is not going to be in that data, right? So if you're looking for, if you try to pull that data, that information probably is not going to be in that data because that's going to be personal identifiable information, which means it's going to be sensitive information. So that information is only going to be available, i.e. the birth date, i.e. The birth date, the social security number, that person's address. It's going to be only available at certain levels. Now, what city does that person live in? It depends. What state does that person live in? It depends, and it's going to also depend on if the manager or the regional director or director, whomever your client is, if they want to give you access to that data, because it could be important for them to know how many employees do we have in this particular state or in this particular city. Hey, listen, real quick, before we go too much further, here's the deal. I just want to let you guys know that I will be on a 7-city tour in 2025. That's right, I'll be on a 7-city tour in 2025, bringing Power of the BI live. Bringing Power of the BI live to a location near you. 7-city tour. I'm going to be somewhere close to where you are. And here's the deal. For those of you guys that are out there that are already signed up for the course, that are already taking the 16-week online course, you will be granted 100% free access to one of the locations that I will be attending. Here's the deal. In order for you to take advantage of that, just go to the Power of the BI portal and message me in our Power of the BI community portal, and then I will definitely get you locked into that particular location. Now, for those of you guys that are not already signed up for the online course, here's the deal. This is what Power of the BI Live means to you. It means that the 16-week course that I teach for 16 weeks, teaching you Power BI, I will be doing it live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a city near you, or probably in your city. You want to be there. If you're the type of person that like to have hands-on teaching, you like to see the instructor face-to-face, you like to be able to ask questions right there on the spot, I am going to be teaching that class, this class, Power of the BI. I'm going to be teaching it live in a city near you in 2025. I'm going to 7 cities, and I'm going to teach this class on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be for a full 10 hours each day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I want to see you there. To get more information about Power of the BI Live and the location near you, what you need to do is go over to my website, powerofthebi.com. Go over to my website, powerofthebi.com, and I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to have to register. You're going to have to register and get on the wait list. You're going to have to register and get on the wait list. This is going to be a class that's going to fill up fast, and I want to make sure that we have the right people in that class, and it's going to be built specifically for those that are really trying to learn specifically trying to learn Power BI like right now, so you can get out there and pivot your career or learn more about Power BI. Whatever you're trying to do when it comes to Power BI, and you need to be in this class, Power of the BI Live, 7 cities, coming to a location near you in 2025. Now, back to the class. Definitely now in this day and time, that's important information, because they may want to keep track of, and they may want to have immediate access to how many of our employees are remote. They may want to be able to look at that pretty quick. How many are remote right now, today, right now? How many of our employees are hybrid right now, today? How many of our employees are on location right now, today? And then they may want to see that by city, by state, by zip code. So that information could be important. It could be important. I know that a lot of employers now are requesting for their employees to be back on site full-time, 5 days a week, as opposed to hybrid, as opposed to remote. So that could be very valuable information to them, because it could give them an idea of when they want to make the determination of when those employees should be back, or how many, or what percentage of those employees that they don't mind staying remote or don't mind being on location, I mean, that information is very important. So given that we see that they've got an employee count, the employee table is definitely a table that you want to include initially on your initial report and dashboard. Now we've got very basic, not very basic, but we got the general information here as far as the executive profiles, the CVS stock prices. Now, here's the deal. Here's something. Now we talked about stock before. We talked about the stock price before, and we said, hey, look, this is not a stock class. This is not a class on trading. This is not a class on making money in stocks and investments. However, they do, as far as Fortune, finds it very important to show you the stock information. So this could be a very important. This could be a good report. This could be a good visualization, visual to place on the report, right? So with that said, you may want to grab the stock prices or the stocks over a period of time and create a visual so that they can see where the stocks were over a period of time. Now, of course, they can go to different websites and they can see, how much the stock has been over a period of time. But at the end of the day, they may want to include this in the report. And of course, you can bring this data in from different locations into your report, and you can create an automatic refresh, or you can do manual refreshes to see real-time data at real-time prices, whether they be up, down, whether they be, stagnant, whatever the case may be. This could be a good visualization to add to your to your report. So as we go down, again, remember, we are still on the Fortune site, and as we see here, these are the CVS Health and the Fortune rankings, and we spoke before, and we CVS Health and Fortune rankings, and we spoke before, and we said that they were number 2, I believe, in the healthcare sector, number 6, CVS Health and Fortune rankings. Let's see, number